How to win in life by lying to yourself. By the overview, we are talking about you're the creator of your own story, why it feels like you are failing right now, how to win, and the action steps. You are the creator of your own story. Lucas lies in bed, feeling hopeless. He hates his job, is unhappy in his relationship, and doesn't feel comfortable in his own body. Deep down, he knows exactly what he needs to do: quit his job, end the relationship, and finally get back under the weights. But an invisible force is holding him back. Between his heart and his mind lie stories that his subconscious has been feeding him for years. You are fine, change is painful, you won't succeed anyway. So the next morning, he gets up, goes to work as usual, lets his relationship continue as it is, and eats a donut during his lunch break. Every human sees the world through a different lens. One person celebrates the rain because it waters their flowers, while another mourns a ruined trip. How we perceive the world around us largely depends on our inner attitude, and that attitude is rooted in the subconscious mind. In our subconscious life live the stories we've been telling ourselves for years. I'm not good enough because my parents said I'm big boned, so I'm destined to be overweight. I'm bad at writing stories because my German teacher always have gave me a D. Deeply buried in the subconscious float countless such stories or assumptions about ourselves and the world. Unfortunately, these stories, often created long ago, still dictate our lives today. Lucas feels contempt to stay stuck in his patterns because the stories in his subconscious convince him that change is impossible. Every change he imagines is associated with pain, and the human brain is wired to avoid pain at all costs. So he accepts the very patterns that hold him back, even though he knows he should change. To create real change, Lucas must change the story he tells himself every single day. Every change brings uncertainty, but it is not necessary to focus only on the painful components. The story in our mind should focus on possibility and opportunity, not just on pain and loss. In the end, we ourselves decide which stories we choose to believe. Whether we feed our subconscious with positive or negative narratives is entirely our responsibility. All we need to do is shift our perspective and search for the light in every area of our lives. Yes, I'm quitting my job, but what new doors might open? I'm ending my relationship, but might that lead to more freedom, happiness, and meeting someone who truly fits me? I'm going back to the gym, and sure, it will be hard at first, but how will my body look in 3 months? Change the story in your mind and change your reality. Why it feels like failing currently. Every person carries stories in their subconscious that have gained too much power over their reality. You can imagine it like a broken record, stuck in one spot, repeating over and over. But a record contains an entire song, not just a broken fragment. In order for the record to play smoothly again, the scratch must be repaired or that broken segment must be replaced. The same is true of the stories we have been telling ourselves for years. Every time you don't dare to act or refuse to leave your comfort zone, you feed the story in your head and reinforce it. The story repeats endlessly until you remove the scratch and replace it with a new segment. Only then can life begin to flow freely again, instead of keeping you trapped in the hamster wheel of your own narrative. Invent a new story. But how? First, you must expose every scratch on your record. What do you tell yourself every day? Are there patterns that keep repeating in your life? How do you react when you are emotional? Are there specific triggers? that hit you particularly hard? Question yourself with radical honesty and examine everything. You will quickly notice that simply uncovering the first few stories already makes you feel lighter. And it's important to understand the search never ends. The subconscious has no final destination. How to win? You've surely heard the phrase, fake it till you make it. In other words, lie to yourself until it becomes your new reality. Replacing an old story with a new one is absolutely possible. But the old story still has immense control over your current reality. So you won't fully believe the new one right away. Your brain needs real world evidence before it accepts the new narrative. Let's say you want to lose weight. Your old self says, you will never achieve it. You have no discipline to stay consistent with workouts, eating healthy, and tracking your weights. But your new self wants to live in a new story. I'm strong enough to live an athletic lifestyle, nourish my body well, and care about my health. I'm worth it. Right now, your old self has a far more evidence to support its story. To bridge the gap between your old and new reality, you must lie to yourself relentlessly. Your conviction must be rock solid to the point where you actually buy into your own lie. The beautiful thing is, the human brain cannot clearly distinguish between imagined thoughts and reality. So lie to yourself until real evidence in life begins to confirm the new story. Using our weight loss example, other people have lost 60 kilo, so why shouldn't I? I've overcome far bigger challenges before. Why should weight loss be any different? Cooking healthy food isn't hard. I simply need to make time for it. Use these as templates to create your own lies. Action steps. Fake it till you make it. That should be your motto for the coming month. As you uncover the stories in your subconscious, you will begin to understand and see through yourself more and more. And trust me, there is no better feeling than truly understanding yourself. But until your desired self becomes your new reality, until you genuinely buy into your new story, it may take time. That's why you must craft convincing lies that will move you step by step toward your new identity. 1. Create lies that feel plausible to you. 2. Repeat them multiple times daily. 3. Actively search for real-life evidence that supports your new story. 4. Repeat this process until the new stories are deeply burned into your subconscious. You will know it's working when your perspective shifts and you begin stepping out of your comfort zone.